right, let's get right into it. We are about to break down what is, no joke, one of the greatest, most complicated, and just deeply satisfying revenge stories ever written. Seriously, it's got everything. True love, a soul-crushing betrayal, and a plan for vengeance so perfect, so detailed, it's basically a work of art. So, meet our guy, Edmond Dantes. When we first meet him, he's got it all. He's this young, talented sailor, super bright, honest, and completely head over heels in love. His future is looking absolutely golden. Just perfect. But, and it's a huge but, that perfect life is about to be completely destroyed. And the worst part? It's going to be done by the people he calls friends. So let's set the scene. This is Act 1, the total catastrophic downfall of a good man. You have to wonder, right? How does a guy who has everything just lose it all in the blink of an eye? Okay, picture this. It's 1815. We're in the port city of Marseille, France. Our hero, Dante, is only 19 years old, and he's just come back from this amazing sea voyage. And what happens? Bam! He gets promoted to captain. And if that's not enough, he's about to marry the love of his life, the beautiful Mercedes. I mean, the guy is literally on top of the world. So what brings him down? Well, it's a nasty little cocktail of jealousy. You've got one guy who's also in love with Mercedes and absolutely hates that she's with Dantes. Then you've got a coworker who is just green with envy over that captain promotion. So what do? They get together, write a secret poison pen letter, and accuse Dantes of treason. And that's it. No trial, no questions asked. He's sentenced to a living death in the worst prison in all of France. And this is where they send him, the Chateau d'If. Look, this isn't just some jail. It's a fortress prison on a barren rock of an island. It's where they send people to disappear, to be completely erased from the world. And for 14 long years, that's what happens to Dantes. He's stuck in the dark, rotting away, until all his hope is gone and the only thing he wants is to die. But then, right when he's at his absolute lowest, when all hope is gone, something happens. Everything changes. And that brings us to Act 2, a chance meeting in total darkness that sparks the beginning of an incredible new life. So after years and years of being completely alone, Dantes starts to hear this scratching sound coming from inside his cell wall. Turns out, it's another prisoner, an old priest named Abbé Faria, who's been digging his way out for years. Now, everyone on the outside thinks this guy is just the mad priest, but they're wrong. He's an absolute genius, and he becomes like a father to Dantes, the mentor he never knew he needed. And Faria, he gives Dantes 3 gifts that will change everything. First, an education like you wouldn't believe. He teaches him science, history, economics, a ton of different languages. He literally transforms this simple sailor into a brilliant intellectual. Second, he helps Dantes figure out the whole puzzle, exactly who set him up and the reasons why. And then, his third gift, right before he dies, he tells him his biggest secret. Faria tells him where to find a legendary lost treasure, an absolutely mind-boggling fortune that's been hidden away for years on this tiny remote island called Monte Cristo. We're talking gold, jewels, the whole shebang. It's not just money, it's the key to a whole new identity. And more importantly, it's the fuel for the ultimate revenge. So with his last words, Faria basically passes the mission on to Dantes, and soon after, Dantes gets his 1 in a million chance. He does something brilliant and crazy. He swaps places with Faria's body in its burial sack. They throw him into the sea, and somehow, through sheer will and strength, he breaks free and escapes the prison. You can guess his first stop, right? Yep, the island of Monte Cristo. So he finds the treasure, and then Edmond Dantes just vanishes. For years. When he finally shows up again, he is a totally new person. And this is where we get to Act 3, the grand entrance of this mysterious, powerful new figure. It's a complete reinvention. And you can see the change right here. The old Edmond Dantes, that poor, betrayed sailor, he's gone. Everyone thinks he's been dead for ages. In his place, the Count of Monte Cristo, a man with endless money, an air of mystery and power, and one single, ice-cold mission. He doesn't just see this as revenge. He believes he's an agent of Providence, sent to deliver justice. And you really have to understand just how much money we're talking about here. 2 million Roman crowns. I mean, that's an insane amount of wealth. Think billions in today's money. This kind of cash gives him godlike power. He can walk into the fanciest rooms in Paris, get close to his enemies, and start to pull the strings of their lives, just like a puppet master.
All right, and now for the main event, the final act. The Count heads straight for Paris, the center of the universe for French high society. And guess who's there? The very men who ruined his life, now living large as powerful, respected figures.
Yeah, the guys who betrayed him have done pretty well for themselves. One's a famous general, another's a super rich banker, the other a powerful judge. They're basically pillars of society. They're wealthy, they're admired, and they have absolutely no clue that the ghost they created, Edmond Dantes, is right there in the room with them, hiding behind the face of this captivating count. You know, the count just appears out of nowhere with so much money it seems impossible. The fancy Parisian socialites, they can't even process it. They literally think he can't be real, just some story. And that arrogance, that's his secret weapon. They think they know everyone who's anyone, and he's not on their list. They are so wrong. They have no idea what he's about to unleash. And then you get that incredible moment, the big reveal. He walks into one of their parties, and the name is announced. The Count of Monte Cristo. Suddenly, the myth is real, and he's standing right in front of them. The long game that he dreamed up in that dark prison cell for over a decade, it's finally about to start. So now, he has them right where he wants them. He's ready to take apart their perfect lives, piece by piece, and make them feel the same pain that he felt. In his mind, he's delivering justice. But as you watch it all play out, you really have to ask yourself about revenge itself. So I'll leave you with this to think about. Is the Count a hero getting righteous justice? Or is he just a man who's been eaten alive by his own need for vengeance?